Hey guys, this is Roots. We're going to be making a coconut cream lotion today. This one has aloe vera and coconut as its basis, and we're going to use beeswax as its thickener. If you wanted to emulsify it, you could either use lecithin or emulsifying wax, but I'm not willing to do that this time. We're going to the beach, and I want it quick and simple, so we're going to get started. We have a half a cup of coconut oil. We measured it in a solid measuring cup. And we're going to melt this. We're going to do a tablespoon of beeswax. I like the beeswax particles. I think it's easier to measure. That's a good tablespoon of that. The beeswax is going to act as a thickener, actually. Kind of thicken the lotion up a bit. We're going to come around to the stove and we're going to heat this up and melt it. And so we're going to put that on to melt. And I have on the side, I have heated water that's waiting for this portion. We're going to melt this only until the beeswax is totally melted. Now, some people say you can melt beeswax in the microwave. I don't think you can. I think it is a fire hazard, and I would not suggest that. So I have a heat-proof cup. See, the handle doesn't get hot, and we're going to heat that up. I sanitized all of this with hydrogen peroxide. I have these wipes that help kind of sanitize everything really well. And while that's heating, I'm going to show you the rest of the ingredients. If you want to stay right there, darling. We're going to put some honey in it. And this is the sandalwood oil. Now that we're at it, I want to show you. I've already drained out the frankincense, myrrh, and the things like that, but it still left some of the ginger at the bottom, as you can see, and that's fine with me. I'm going to scrape that out soon. I've already used some of this in a body oil that I've done, but I'm going to put a little bit of the sandalwood oil in this. We've already got the coconut oil and the beeswax heating on the stove, and we have aloe vera gel. This is a 1/4 cup of aloe vera gel, and we're just letting this come to room temperature. I took it out of the refrigerator earlier to let it come to room temperature. I'm going to get the water. I also have a 1/4 cup of distilled water. I've had this sitting in the oven just to keep it a little bit on the warm side. And I have my mixing bowl, which is quite hot, I may add, because the beeswax, sometimes when it hits a cold surface, it will solidify. So after I have sterilized my bowl, which is a big mixing bowl, I put it in the oven to heat sterilize it also. And that way when I'm ready to mix, everything should mix up well. And we'll set this over to the side. I think the beeswax is ready already, because this goes very, very quickly. All right, cameraman. Now, let me get my spoon and such. As we can see, the beeswax and the coconut oil have totally melted, and it only takes a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and put that in the container. Sorry for the scraping noise, guys, but that just cannot be helped. You can also do this in the blender, but I'm using my immersion mixer to do this. Ouch, that's a little warm, but I guess that'll be okay. We'll go ahead and put our 1/4 cup of oil in there, and we're going to go ahead and start beating this a bit. I think we have everything. Yes, excuse me, darling. I'm going to switch sides with you, because I'm going to mix this. Alrighty, let's mix this up a bit. As you can see in the bowl, it does start to thicken a little bit or get kind of creamy. It's not going to get as thick as a cream, but it will kind of thicken up. And that bowl, like I said, is pretty hot. That's just to prevent the beeswax from solidifying too quick before everything mixes. Alrighty, that's still pretty warm, but I'm going to put the honey in anyway because I want that to melt really well. Let me grab a clean spoon here. And like I said, I sterilized everything with hydrogen peroxide. I have these wipes that I've purchased. I'll show them to you in just a second. We're going to put a measuring tablespoon, I should say, of honey. Mainly because I want the humectant properties of it, and it also kind of works as a little bit of a preservative. We're going to put that on in there. And where's my spatula? There it is. We want to make sure we get every drop, like I said. You don't want to waste any of your product if you can. You paid all that money for it, you might as well get every drop. I don't know if you can see in the bowl where that is starting to thicken up just a little bit. And I want to put my sandalwood oil in while it's pretty warm also, because I want to make sure all of this mixes well. This is another clean spoon. And we're going to be very careful with this because I don't have any more. Oh man, that smells so good. The mix, after I was done with it and did a body oil for my husband, who is the cameraman today, he absolutely loved. Real good for massages. The smell is not so much manly. It is just I think, a very sensual smell. That's just my opinion. And while that is going, and it's still pretty warm, we're going to go ahead and put the aloe vera in. Put a little bit at a time. Because we want to make sure everything mixes well. Stop right there for a second and get the rest of the aloe vera out. Alrighty, we're getting there. Don't you dare skip over. That's happened to me a couple of times because I'm not being very careful, and I've tipped the whole batch over. We'll set that to the side too. As you can see in the bowl where that aloe vera is, where it's kind of thick. And we'll get this mixed up, and we'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys. I let it cool just a little bit, and then I whipped it again. And now since it's getting thick, I'm going to have to get it in the container very soon. But I wanted to show you the thickness of it. Whip it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and unplug that. The container was very, very hot, so it took a little bit longer to thick because it kept it hot a lot longer than I wanted to. But I wanted to make sure that when I sterilized it, that I put it in the oven to heat sterilize it. That's just a little trick if you're going to be using glass to whip creams or butters or things like that, and you don't want it to solidify too fast. Heat up the bowl also that you're going to be whipping it in. And we're going to have to move a little quick on this because this will thicken up before I can blink an eye, and I'll never get it in that ball. Okay, we're going to put some vitamin E in there, 32,000 IU. We're going to put quite a bit of it this time. We're going to actually put a teaspoon of it. Let me sit that down. We'll make sure we get every bit of it. Teaspoon of the vitamin E. And where's my plastic spoon? And we're going to put some Optifan because I'm going to travel. Now, if I was home, I would not put the Optifan. But I'm going to put the Optifan in there for a preservative. And we're going to put about a teaspoon of that also. And it's just a clear liquid. There we go. Looks just like water, but it's not water. Doesn't really have a smell. It kind of smells like plastic to me, but that's just my opinion. Now that we got that all in there, we're going to stir it really, really well. As you can see up against the side of the glass, which, let me get a little bit of this, the side of the glass, and we're going to move over to the counter if that's okay, darling. Grab that. You can see that it's thickened up quite a bit. We have our coconut lotion. as you can see if you put it up on the side of the glass, which is cooler than the bottom of the glass, how thick it actually is. So I'm going to have to stir this really well and get it into our squirt bottle, and then we're good. Till I go to the beach, I'll keep this in the refrigerator, but when I come home, I'll just sit it in my cabinet because I'll use this daily. I only made a small batch because all I need is a small batch, but I needed something that has humectant properties, it has aloe, things that are going to heal the skin because this is an unusually hot summer. Hence, we can come up, darling. Hence the scarf. I've been aloe veraing this hair to death and wearing scarves out and hats. Please do not go out in that sun without something covering your hair. You can not only burn your scalp, you can scorch your hair. Makes it dry as straw. So I recommend either a cute scarf or tie it in a scarf or tuck your protective ends inside themselves or a hat of some type. But I like scarves, so what can I say? But we're going to get our little container, which we already have. As you know, this is a dye or some type of product applicator. And we're going to get our lotion in there. We're good to go. See how thick that is? And that pours pretty quickly too. Nice and thick. Absorbs into the skin really well. Has humectant properties. Has aloe vera in it. Vitamin E. So we're ready for the beach. We've got our organic coconut lotion. We're good to go. Didn't take very long to make it. Didn't really cost too much to make it. A lot of these things most naturals have. Maybe not the Optifin, maybe not a few of the products, but most naturals have aloe vera and coconut. Even if you just wanted to do that where it did not mix as well, it'd be a quick way to, let's get that out. See, if we wait too long, it starts to thicken up and it won't come out of the funnel. And I spilled a little bit there, but that's okay. We'll make sure all that comes out. Let me get that little bit off the container. And I'll show you how it looks on your skin. See how thick that is? And that rubs in really nice. Rubs in really nice to the skin. Not so much of a smell because I did not use an essential oil this time. I did put a little bit of the sandalwood, but mainly because of the properties of the myrrh and the frankincense that I did that. But hope you guys like this. Hope you try it. You got your bottle full. You're all ready to go. Make sure you do not cap this until it's totally cool. What I normally do is sit it on the counter for a couple of hours to make sure that all the heat evaporates, and then I tightly cap it and put it in the refrigerator. And we're ready to go to the beach. Don't forget your hat. Have fun. Bye, guys.